last you guys were here on whatever game this is, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Sorry for getting where I'm at. Who am I? Where am I? What world is this? Ah, yes. You found yourself deep, deep, deep beneath the Regan Glacier in the ancient Netherese city of Ythrin, the world besieged by an evil demigod who has cast the entire Icewind Dale into a never-ending winter. You had defeated her first mortal form on this mortal coil and weakened her to the point that her spell potentially being reversible. You had learned from ancient magics that had been brought to the surface previously that perhaps the power to reverse such a spell existed in the incredible powers that the Netherese wielded before their empire fell centuries ago. Working with a member of the Arcane Brotherhood in sort of a tense truce, you managed to claim the Codicil of White, a text worshipping the evil goddess that allowed you to crack open the glacier and descend beneath through the caves filled with horrible rimerazes and undead monsters until you reached the ancient necropolis. Here, you discovered, after awakening a long prisoner locked in stasis, that in order to reach the center spire of the tower where the most powerful artifacts are kept, apparently, a ritual would need to be performed, the rite of the arcane dad. Something like that, right? The arcane octad, which apparently, pieces of which are found around towers to the various schools of magic located around the ancient city. Forced to explore it, you found your way to the ancient grove where you had learned first to carve a wand from the tree of the ancient nether tree, which you managed to do. Shield thy heart with a wand from the nether oak. Passage from the rite of the arcane octad, and you were able to do so, taking a branch from the tree and carving it thus forth into a wand. Your wizard was able to do so, much to the chagrin of your tree wad that travels with you. You unlocked a frozen companion by the name of, who called himself Xeraphon, who you are suspicious of, but apparently claims to be a former servant of the ruler of this city that was locked in stasis for punishment and insolence. You freed him and are attempting to make your way into the spire of Iorlothus, the center of the city, and I will bring you all there now. Right before you left, you had noticed a ancient building which appeared as you were peering through the distance. You saw books filling the shelves. An ancient library of the Netherese lay before you in the distance as you fought off a horrific monster that seemingly crawled up from the Underdark with its vicious jaws and huge hammer snapping forth from his abdomen towards you, many of you taking tremendous damage. And that is where we find you now. I will set the audio scene for you. Let me know if you're not able to hear the soundscapes. And just what? As I bring you there. Back to the necropolis of Ythrin. You've learned several things since you've been in here, and this is where we find you all now. Where are you guys headed? You're at the edge of the grotto after you have found or made your wand out of the oak of the nether tree. And before you lies a building with 4 spires around it that you were able to see through the windows into it and see shelves of what appeared to be books.
I would like to go someplace I might be able to find a rest. Because I did not fare terribly well. Or I guess maybe I could drink some potions. If we have a moment. Would everybody be okay with a short rest, perhaps?
Would work for me.
Works for me.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm at about half life, so I would like to be at more than that.
Okay, where are you guys going to try to rest?
What if we move like over in this vicinity where there seems to be some like rubble and places perhaps we could set up like some lookout points.
Okay. Yeah, things are relatively quiet. You've encountered one of these things that just crawled out of the dirt, but yeah, you're able to set up a lookout fairly well, at least to take an hour-long break and rest.
Okay.
If we're taking a short rest, I will begin casting Prayer of Healing to give everyone an additional 2d8 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is a +4. It's only 11, but
Dang it. Hold up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Are you setting a watch for this hour?
I am feeling pretty fit. So I'll be happy to keep watch along with Treewad while everybody else
Okay.
attends to their wounds.
Roll me a D100, please.
Okay.
Four. Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Since you're keeping watch.
There we go.
Oh, good perception.
Bam.
You hear footsteps, kind of clanking footsteps in the distance. Where exactly you're set up? Sort of outside the grotto area here.
I think we were right about here, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Okay, you're sort of over there on that far end. Got it. Next to this other tower, this little tower here.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, you hear clanking footsteps moving around, and they are they're kind of over moving. I guess I would say we'll say kind of over towards where the library area is. They sound human, and with a 19, they sound like metallic, like somebody's wearing armor or something. Like it's the recognizable clank, clank, clank of like plate armor, which strikes you as a little bit unusual here because everything else is fairly quiet and the city seems to be dead and locked in stasis. But you can hear that.
I have a use of invisibility, or three uses actually.
Sure.
I am going to let's see. Casting time, 1 action. It does not. Let me see how that'll burn a spell slot. Since it's not in my normal spells. What level would that be?
I don't know. You'll have to look at the.
Yeah. When you cast a spell using a 3rd level or 1 action touch, duration 1 hour, illusion. Yeah, I'm not sure how I would burn this. Because it was a special thing given to me. It's not in my spell list.
Right. If you've got the use of it, then you can use it however many times you got left.
Okay, so it doesn't count against my spell slots
No.
as a special thing.
Is it a magic item or what was it?
It was just it was just a special ability that came from something.
Oh, it came from the pear you ate.
Oh yeah, that's
the charm
right.
the charm of invisibility allowed you to cast invisible spells in action. No components required. Once used 3 times, it vanishes. No, it doesn't count against a spell slot. It's just you ate the pear and you gained the ability to do that.
Okay, sweet. Then yeah, that's what I'll do. I will use I will use one of those, and then I'll sneak over there and see what I can find out.
Okay, roll me a stealth check. You have advantage since you're invisible.
Okay. And oh dear, oh dear. Did you know I'm a dwarf? Were you aware?
Yes, I am.
Oh
okay,
dear.
you're invisible, so 12's gonna do it. That's good
Okay.
enough. You just had to beat a 10.
Okay.
Like, no, this is not like they're not expecting you. Like, you're invisible, they're not expecting you. You just had to beat a 10. If you rolled less than a 10, you were gonna like make a noise. Basically. You see a couple of humanoid figures wearing armor. How close are you getting? They're wearing what looks like black armor.
If I pick up a small object and keep it in my hands, will my invisible hand sort of cover it up?
Yeah,
Or
if you clutch it entirely in your hand, I'll rule that it's invisible.
okay, that's what I'll do then. I'll on the way over there, I'll pick up a small piece of rubble and like stuff it in a pouch or something.
Okay.
And then I'll try to get as close as I can to them to sort of see what they're doing and what direction they're going.
Okay, if you're going to try to get closer, roll me another stealth check.
Okay.
Still take advantage.
Bam!
Critical 20. Okay, you're able to scoot up on them pretty close without them being able to recognize you or see you at all. They appear to be knights, humans, definitely humans, wearing black armor. They look like they're just sort of looking around and searching, like they're exploring, kind of like you're doing, exploring the area. There's something. Roll me insight. Yeah, we'll go with that. Insight. There's something familiar about them. You're not exactly certain what, Cadillac, but you get a deep, sort of like negative feeling, and it's just something you've seen these guys before. They're familiar, and it kind of rubs you the wrong way. Like you get you didn't like feeling.
Okay. So where exactly on the map are they? Or are we? I guess I should say.
I'm gonna say you're over by that library building. You've sort of crawled back towards that, and and you're looking at that right there.
Okay. I am going to take one of the rocks, or the rubble out of my pouch, piece of rubble, and
Yeah.
I'm going to try throwing it. Let's see, sort of in this direction,
Okay.
in sort of around one of these buildings, so that it'll hopefully capture their attention and they'll go investigate it.
Okay. Roll me a. I'm not gonna make you roll this. No roll here. You're throwing a rock. This is not like an athletics check. Yeah, you do that, and it captures their attention. They turn. One of them stops and kind of like does the whole like Star Wars, like Stormtrooper, like thing, and then they start to walk over. Are you throwing it sort of away from you or closer to you so you can get a better look without moving? So you kind of look at them a little closer.
No, I think I'm trying to push them away from the group so that I can buy us a little bit of time to prepare.
Okay,
Or decide
they
what we
weren't
wanna
really
do.
moving in your direction, really, and yeah, they're moving away. As they move away, you see a logo on them, and it is a black sword. And roll insight one more time.
Okay. Mm,
It is very familiar to you.
mm. And I do get a good look at it, though.
Yeah, there is a black sword on them.
Okay.
The other thing that you see is their eyes under the helmet are cool and blue looking,
Oh dear.
like a deep blue.
Oh dear. I seem to recall things with glowing blue eyes before. I think I do, at least. Okay. So, do I have to do anything special to sneak away from them?
You've distracted them, at least for the moment.
Okay.
In fact, I think that for the dramatic irony of this, Cadillac, I don't think that this would work with anyone else, but I think it works with you. So I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to, despite your bad insight roll, I think that take advantage. Roll insight one more time. I'm going to see if you get it with advantage, because I think that Cadillac is the only character.
Yes.
Okay. No other character would I give this to, but Cadillac only, because he is the one that was angry about it, and it really bothered him. And it hits you, Cadillac. You remember seeing those eyes, and you remember seeing them in the young boy Hurwar Malfoon that had been turned to worship of the archdevil Levistus. And
Yeah, the fortress dudes.
These are the Knights of the Black Sword that Cadillac had wanted to go back and destroy, but you left alone. But you left alone in the fortress, and it hits you. You remember who they are and where you've seen that black sword before. You saw them in that fortress previously.
I run
the
up
knights
and tackle
worshiping
them.
the devil Levistus. Do you really?
No, I do not. But I'm sorely tempted to. These people should be exterminated. They're up to no good. Okay. So I'm going to retreat back to the group. And then I will lower my invisibility, and I will tell them who I have found, and I will tell them that that I strongly believe that we should go take these guys out. They were up to no good before, and they're still up to no good, and I don't know what they're doing here, but they need to be dealt with, I think. Possibly after a nap. And I did, and I will say that, and I will say that I sent them off in another direction. So,
Everybody but Cadillac can take a short rest now.
Okay.
knock on wood, they're going to be preoccupied for a while.
Jeff,
Yes.
do I still have a level of exhaustion for some reason?
if you have it marked on your sheet and you've not taken a long rest, the answer to that is yes.
I don't know why I have it marked on my sheet though.
I think it's when we
Oh,
entered
it
the
was getting
city.
here.
Yeah,
Getting here. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You guys chose to press through the night. You didn't sleep. So basically everybody's pretty exhausted, I think.
Hmm.
But you've been over a day now. Like, it's been actually over a day you've been down here. You pushed it really, really hard to get here, but you've been here over a day. I really should be giving everybody 2 levels of exhaustion.
No.
But we'll just hold it at that. I'll say this: if you don't take a long rest here, eventually everybody's gonna get another one. That's right. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Marcus.
That's very good. Very good. Very good. We got to keep the realism of torturing you. Okay. So you've short rested. You've got short rest material going. Cadillac saw Knights of the Black Sword, the cult worshippers of Levistus, who you knew that another member of the Arcane Brotherhood, the Tiefling woman, was working with them. And yeah. The rest of the crew happens to be next to another tower that reminds you very much of the other tower that you had seen that told you to get the wand, basically. So it looks like you have found another potential tower. It's tower that you're sort of camped up beside is it's thin tower and etched with intricate designs of hands and eyes. Up at the top, there is a silver light flickering from a high window, above which a large carved eye animates and blinks. Part of the roof of the tower is missing. And this is the building that everybody sort of decided to camp next to. This one right here that has the little eyeball on the top, if you zoom way in. They even drew a little eyeball on it for you. This has got eyes all over it.
So were we wanting to go after that group, or are we wanting to go up one of the towers?
You got my vote.
So I'm thinking this tower, the first place we went had the inscription about carve the nether oak. Is there an inscription for this one?
That was inside the tower that you found that written on the ceiling.
Okay.
You don't see anything on the outside other than the signs of hands and eyes, and the high window and the animated eye at the top that blinks.
Okay. I guess. I mean, I think maybe explore the tower.
Now, I'll remind you that the other tower was sort of booby-trapped. You managed to disarm a... I'm reminding you of things that happened, so, yeah. There is a door at the base of the tower.
I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'll go look at it to see if there is, from an artificer stamp, like if there's a contraption
Okay.
that I might recognize.
Roll perception.
Can I assist with guidance?
Absolutely.
You can add a D4.
D4. 14.
You're fairly confident that it's magical. That this is done with magic. In fact, almost nothing in this place seems to be done with pulleys and levers. Everything seems to be done with magic.
I don't know. Do I know anything about disarming magical traps? I don't think I do.
I don't know. You have detect magic?
Mm-mm.
We have Professor Scott.
Hmm. This appears to be the Tower of Divination. The ability to see. See into the future, divine the true path. Where you were before was the Tower of Abjuration. Protection. It would only make sense for a tower dedicated to abjuration to have a protection spell cast upon it. Perhaps this one will see into your heart. Know your true nature. Or maybe not. Who's to say? I don't know. Let's go.
Leonard is willing to cautiously approach.
You approach. Do you
No.
enter?
I will go in the door.
Nothing happens. You enter the tower. There's a staircase, spiral staircase, heading upwards.
Does it seem like, is there an inscription anywhere on the first floor, like in the lobby, or?
Yeah, not that you can see. If you wish to investigate, you can investigate closer. If you want to
Oh,
look at
but
the
this
ro-
is divination. Like, it could be hidden.
You see a staircase. Before you lies a staircase. Spiraling upwards.
Okay, I'm gonna let everybody know it's just stairs. I don't see anything. And see if I have any. Mm, hmm. All right, I'm gonna walk up the stairs.
Okay. You reach the top of the stairs, and there's large gashes in the roof that allow you to see out into the giant cave, the dark icicle festooned roof of great ice cave beyond. Silver light emanates from a 3-foot diameter glass orb that is situated atop a 2-foot high cylindrical stone plinth in the center of a 30-foot diameter rubble strewn circular chamber. Eyeballs drift inside of the orb like fish in a bowl. Some of them have cataracts, others are bloodshot or pus-filled, but all turn and gaze at you, Leonard, as you enter the room.
I will follow up the stairs.
You see the same thing that I just described, but will not describe again.
Oh man, I don't love that.
Above the stone plinth is a inscription that appears to be written in Draconic script.
I speak Draconic. Can I read it?
Yes. It says, "Ask, and we shall find."
I translate it to Leonard. Is everybody else following us, or is it just us two?
I'll join in.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, I'll translate for the party. What do we want to ask it to find?
Maybe the path into the central tower, because there's supposed to be an element of access to the central tower from each of the 8 towers.
Basically, you have to complete the ritual of the arcane octad to be able to get past the force field into the central tower.
Yeah, so
That's what you've learned.
we have done one piece
You've
of
done
that,
one
or
step.
a piece of a piece.
Presumably, each of the 8 could be the steps to the 8 could be found. Presumably, if you're going to video game this, just not to meta you too much, but 8 schools of magic, 8 towers.
Right.
or whatever, 8 different places, 8 schools of magic, 8 steps. You sort of at one of them. You've done abjuration. Welcome to divination.
I'm gonna ask them to find
Actually,
the truth.
before you do this real quick,
Oh, sure.
roll me a perception check. And Zari, Leonard, you walk up and start to ask it something. Leonard. And Zari, as you're doing that, you see something. The wall where this tower is sort of crumbling and rubble is strewn around, and there's the bits of a script that was written on the wall that looks very much like what you saw inside the Tower of Abjuration, that is broken off and is missing. The script in the Tower of Abjuration that said that told you to cloak yourself in the wand, that was written in Draconic there. First, shield thy heart with a wand from the Nether Oak written on the ceiling. Similar thing is here, but it's broken off and missing.
Okay, I'll reach out and grab Leonard's arm to pull him or hold him from walking further. And in Draconic, I'll ask where the other half of the inscription is. And then I'll point to the wall.
You nothing happens.
Okay, then I point out that the other half of the description is missing in common for the others.
Okay, I'm willing to wait, because what I had intended to do and completely forgot in my excitement about interacting with this magical tank of eyeballs was to get an idea of like what caused the rubble. Like, is the rubble just from a decaying tower or the crash of the city, or is this like rubble from explosions emanating from the Jar of Eyes or laser blasts or something?
Trying to see what caused it to crumble and fall apart, basically.
Yeah, or like, are these like mega beholder limbs that are just swimming around?
You talk about the eyes inside of the thing.
Yeah.
You don't see any like beholder arms on the eyes swimming around. It's just eyes that are moving around in the thing.
Of the description that's left, or of the inscription, what does it say? Like, what can I read into Draconic?
Basically nothing.
Basically nothing. Is there any larger pieces still in the room that we could search to potentially see if there's a part of the inscription there? Or is it all too small?
There's no piece of the inscription that is here. It seems to have gotten knocked out of this place somehow when you presume when the city fell. Like, everything has sort of fallen and crashed.
Okay.
All right, I'm thinking we should probably, now that I have been brought from the brink of my natural one, I think that we should probably explore what, if we can find the piece, like maybe it fell outside or something, because I feel like not knowing what it says would be bad.
Yeah, it seems blasted out of the building somehow, like it's been blasted out of this building.
Can I walk to the edge and look down to see if I see anything that looks like it could be potentially it?
Sure.
Get an idea.
You don't see anything like that at the bottom here. You judge as you walk outside that the hole in the ceiling of this building was maybe caused by this stone inscription breaking loose and flying out the roof, breaking the roof of this tower where you can see through to the cave top, and it went flying off somewhere into the air as the city fell. So it literally like took flight and went somewhere else.
Hmm.
That's what you're able to ascertain, is that it's not around here. It broke through the roof of the ceiling and went flying off. As the rest of you are in the tower, the eyes inside the orb are looking at all of you. The orb is glowing with a silvery light. Draconic script above it, ask and we shall find.
Hmm. Anybody have thoughts or ideas? Because Leonard is... Now that I have been encouraged to be hesitant, Leonard is hesitant.
I'm not encouraging you to be hesitant. I was just trying to remind you of things that have happened. Don't let me encourage you to be anyway. That's not my intent at all.
No, you did not. Zarya did by saying, hey, maybe let's wait to see what this wall says.
It could be anywhere, honestly.
Right.
Maybe you would have to divine it.
But I don't even know. Okay, does anybody have any divination spells? I don't. Cadillac?
I don't believe so.
Alone!
Is coming from your pack.
Okay. What does we got our buddies. We got Shrubwad, Treewad,
And you've got this yep, you've got this man that is sort of leading you around, Xerophon.
Oh,
and
I
and the
completely
professor.
forgot about Xerophon.
Yep, and you got Professor Scott, and you've got Valian Harpel, who's a wizard. Valian doesn't know much about Githrin. Professor Scott, as you take him out of the bag, looks at you and says, "Dear Lord, are you going to keep me in there? It's whiffy." He says, an orb of divination. Very interesting object. You have to touch it. Place your hands upon it. And then cast your spell, I suppose. Eyes, I see. Yes, yes. Symbol of the goddess of divination magic.
Well, that's what I was going to do. Fine.
Should it be done in Draconic, or do we think it needs to be done in Common?
I would think that the magic would be fine with whatever language you wanted to use. Probably speak back to you in whatever language you use.
Fair.
Okay, then I'm going to ask. I'll step up. Okay, I'll take
you
the
step
hit.
up. You step up and you place your hands on the orb.
Like carefully and slowly watching to make sure that it doesn't electrify me or explode or catch on fire or.
Okay. You place your hands upon the orb, and you feel a surge of power through yourself. And the voices, like a million voices speaking, and they are all saying, "Ask and we shall find, ask and we shall find, ask and we shall find."
I'm going to ask, what's that missing inscription say?
Doesn't respond.
Okay, I'll refresh. Can you find that missing inscription?
You start to have a vision. Your vision goes black. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. All right.
Oh, oh man! If ever did you need a moment for that, you pulled that one out of the hat. Your vision clears, and you see clear as day a vision of another building, a ways away across the necropolis, with another hole in its top. It has a giant telescope pointing out of it, a different spire that appears to be some sort of observatory. And the vision flashes through it, and there you see a slab of stone with draconic writing on it lodged into this tower itself.
Okay. Can I make out the characters in the vision?
You cannot, but you could definitely see the slab and where it landed.
Okay. All right.
And
I will convey that information.
And you let go of the orb, and the eyes sort of float away. And yeah, you have a vision. Everybody sees you sort of tense up and then see this. And then yeah.
I'll
Now
tell
nobody
everybody-
else knows that you had to like constitutionally save. They just saw
Did
you
I-
place your hands, ask a question, and then like go tense and then know the answer.
Did I fail anything? Well, I mean, did I feel anything?
You
Like-
felt tense energy through you as you
But,
had
like,
the vision.
I saved. I didn't notice like badness. So I don't know that I would know to warn.
I don't know that you would, to be honest with you. You just felt
Okay.
you felt a tenseness that was uncomfortable, and you resisted against it, and you were strong enough to hold this back and to do this thing.
Okay. I will just clue everybody in on what I saw, that it went out the top of this one and into the top of another one that looked like a telescopy observatory thing, which would be kind of cool to see anyway. So if we think we need that information before we get this tower's blessing, that should be a stop on our route.
Yep, so the inscription from this tower is lodged into a different tower with a telescope on it. And you actually know exactly where it is, because the vision sort of zoomed you there. So, Leonard, I'll tell you it's this one right here.
Oh, the one up top.
Yep, this one right here. It fell through the roof of that one as the entire city crashed to the ground. It came loose, smashed through the ceiling of this tower, flew through the air, and lodged into that tower.
Okay, I'll tell everybody that's sort of where it is, and that could be a next stop or our next stop, but I think it might be reasonable to read that before we touch this eyeball tank anymore. Of course, I have no idea what it says. It was in Draconic. I couldn't read it even.
So what you understand is that the eyeball tank gives you the ability to find things.
But you have to ask it in the form of a question.
Where is something? And it will find it for you.
All right, so I'll tell everybody it's
Yep, that's your understanding of it.
the locator.
Where is Toot?
Oh, I'm not asking it anything until I know what that inscription says.
Well, shall we go, or is that in the same direction that Cadillac just sent those entities?
I don't know, Cadillac. Which way did you throw the rocks to send them?
That is totally in the general direction I sent them, because they I threw the rock in this general direction here, and so that means that they're definitely heading exactly for that tower.
Okay, well, we got 6 more towers to explore. We ain't got to go to that one.
This is true. There are other
We
sites.
can go the other way. We can go the library.
There are all kind of things.
Cadillac, you were wanting us to deal with them. How do you
That is
feel?
that is still my vote. I still think that those knights are up to no good and they need to be dealt with.
All right. And
I don't know why they're here, but my personal vote is to knock them out.
well, that's fine. You talked me into it. Well, mostly, I really want to know what the wall says. Now that the impulse to just touch the tank and ask it to find, because what Leonard wanted to ask was he wanted to find the truth. Like he wanted to find like what's the deal with Ariel? Is Ariel really like a god, or is this like some puppeteer? I don't know. Just try to have a better understanding of exactly what's going on, and that's what he wanted to find. But I don't feel comfortable now that I have taken a breather and decided, well, is that what I really want to do? I want to know what that inscription says before I chase that rabbit. So yeah, and we can chase down the inscription and perhaps the Black Sword Knights at the same time, or vice versa. All right. Does anybody not want to kill those dudes? Try to kill those dudes. Hope to kill those dudes.
I'm
Sounds
good
good
either
to
way.
me.
Does anybody remember anything about those dudes
Not a damn thing.
that
Nope.
might assist? Because they're like,
To be honest, I remember very little other than the exposition that Jeffrey shared.
so
I do dimly remember Cadillac taking extreme exception to these people, but I don't remember a lot of the context.
as I recall, one of them was like an innkeeper's son who had disappeared and then come back, but was completely changed.
Right.
And when we found him in the fort with all those dudes, it was like not only was he completely changed, but he was like a demon possessing a human body that had been deceased. So like the kid was killed by this cult or whatever, and the demon used to possess its body. And I think we saw like multiple people with ice blue eyes.
Now I
all?
remember. Yeah.
Sorry, this world is a lot more sandboxy. There's not like a clear path to follow. So like the directions you guys are heading here in the sandbox of Yithrin is really up to y'all.
Now I remember why Cadillac took such exception to them, because Cadillac feels very strongly that when things die, they should return to the natural like cycle of the earth and fertilizing things and becoming other forms of life. And these things being turned into zombies sort of arrests that cycle. And he took like a fundamental exception to like this practice and the fact that they were doing this over and over and over. So now I remember why Cadillac had to be in his bonnet about this. So yeah, no, definitely. I think that taking down that whole coven or whatever it was a bit much. But knocking these two individuals out, I think Cadillac 100% would want to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you guys are searching for the knights.
Sounds like it.
All right, y'all are heading towards that other tower.
Uh-huh.
As you're heading towards this tower here and searching for the knights in that direction.
I think so.
If I'm okay. You crawl down into another destroyed portion of the city here as you're making your way across. Immediately to your left, you pass by what looks like a large market hall standing on one end of this plaza. 4 broken towers are leaning inwards. Faded pennants hang above the entrance, frozen stiff. and a loud clatter resounds from within the hall. To your right, you see another hall across the other end of the bazaar with silken drapes hanging from the front of this building. Their surfaces twirling with illusory images of dragon's fire and twinkling star fields. There are a group of emotionless figures standing guard outside, looking for all the world like frozen statues. If you continue to pass onwards, you can actually, while you're here, roll me perception, everybody. You're looking for those knights. Leonard, the only thing you detect is the clatter coming from within this building. It's the only thing you hear. You don't see any knights, but you definitely hear some sort of clattering noise coming from within this, what looks like partially destroyed marketplace. You can now see the tower from your vision across the other side of this plaza that you guys have sort of made your way into now.
All right, I'll convey that to all.
But you don't see any of the knights or anything. You do hear the clattering noise.
Coming from the building?
Coming from this building here.
Okay, I'll let everybody know that I hear the clanking, and that I'm assuming Cadillac sort of described the clanking, so that I would know that those were perhaps related.
I say that sounds like what I heard.
It reminds me of like the opening scene from Game of Thrones, where like the audiobook just very creepily describes like White Walkers coming out of the woods and murdering a group of people, and just how silent they were moving through. Like all you heard was armor, but no people noises, and that's creepy. Love it. So if we want to attack them, they're in there, or we can wait and ambush them when they come out, or I don't know.
Yeah, you just hear like, as you are listening closer, you hear some smashing sounds, like something being hit with a large hammer or something like that. You hear just coming from inside, there's some sort of ruckus.
All right, what we want to do? We want to be aggressive or strategery?
I guess I proceed to the front of the building, and I just stamp and I say, show yourselves, foul fiends.
So you stamp right up to the front, show yourself, foul fiend. Do you go into the building?
No, I'm trying to pull them out.
Okay. Roll me performance.
Okay.
See how good of a goading you do.
Okay. Bam.
You just hear continued clattering and smashing inside the building. As you come up to it, you see script written in that foreign language above the top of the building. I don't think you read it because it was in the Netherese language.
Xylophone, come here.
Are you talking to me? My name is
Yes.
Professor Scant.
No, not you. Xylophone.
No, xylophone.
Xerophon.
Read this,
You
please.
want Xerophon. Okay. I should have known xylophone. He looks over at you and he says, "It says Arcane Market. This place would have once sold magical wares, items of arcane mystery and power. You know, like a child's toy that could make gold turn anything into gold that you so desired, or, perhaps a endless font of wine, or, the household parties, or perhaps you needed, things of that sort.
Knickknacks.
Yes, so to speak. Say you needed like a sword of glory or something along said lines.
Well,
Magical knickknacks.
those zombie
It's like
idiots.
regular everyday stuff.
Those zombie idiots are breaking all of the magic knickknacks. It would appear.
That would seemingly be a tragedy.
Well, we can't have that now, can we?
I shall watch you deal with them.
Okay, so these are the magical knickknacks that we have been
searching
for.
I remember in my day living in Yithrin, they had cloaks of magical kinds, and they had vases that would pour out never-ending fonts of whiskeys, and they had boots that would allow you to fly, and those things.
Yeah, all right. Leonard is willing to go in and stop them now. I think that's the right call for the preservation of humanity, or the preservation of all people, creatures.
So let's see. Are they how big is the building? Is it 20 feet, 30 feet deep, 100 feet deep?
I don't know. Hold on. It is a large market. It's like imagine like a market, like a big old market, like the farmer's market. It's big.
Right. So bigger than 30 feet, probably.
Yeah, probably several hundred feet.
Okay. So I don't think the power of Sylvanas can compel them. That seems like it's probably too far away. I guess then, since they are not going to respond to my beseechals, I'm just gonna stamp in through the portal of the building.
Okay.
And see if I can't.
You stamp in, and what do you say as you stamp in?
I said, "Get out here."
The front of the building, xylophone translates as "Bazaar of the Bazaar." And as you do this, as you step in here and say that, hold on, let's see here. Hang on. Here we go. You step in, and what you see is not Black Knights, but you see a very large creature that appears to be made out of a solid hunk of metal, bearing with it a very large sword. And said creature appears to be missing its head, entirely headless. And it's taking this giant sword, and it is smashing all of the remaining things in this building into dust and little bitty bits. And here's what it looks like.
It sounds like a Dullahan.
It looks like this.
Oh.
And it's just literally without a head, smashing things with its sword. And as you say, "I said get over here," it turns and stops, clenches its sword, and charges at you, Cadillac, with it. Go ahead and do that thing you do where you roll initiative as this giant headless iron monster is charging at you.
Ooh.
Some good rolls. Okay. Let me roll his initiative real quick. He's headless. And he rolls kind of bad on his initiative. Do you guys have the upper hand on him? Harkus, you're up first. As this thing's charging at Cadillac, you see this happening.
Okay. Well, for do yeah, I feel like Harkus. So, Harkus is very excited about the prospect of a full metal pelt. And so he's just going to start running right at him.
Okay.
Can I get to him?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
And
He's charging at Cadillac, who just tried to goad the giant metal headless beast.
all right. Well, I'm going to run at him and swing at him a couple of times.
Okay. Let's see here. That's a miss. As your stick smashes off of his iron. You did some damage there. This is a magical stick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it better be. Yeah, that hits.
And then 2d6.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend a key point. And where'd that go? What is it? Yes. So I'm going to spend a key point, take my Step of the Wind feature, and disengage and run back away from him.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to do that. You get whatever your movement is, half of that away from him.
Okay.
Leonard, you're up. You're probably a good 50 feet away from him, Leonard, but you think as big as he is, he could probably close that gap pretty fast.
Okay, Leonard is going. Hang on, let me look at range on this. Okay, Leonard is going to, from 50 feet away, cast heat metal on his sword.
Okay. He has to make a save?
Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell, and can use a bonus action to trigger the damage on each subsequent turn. If it is holding it, con save or drop the object if it can.
Okay. You see the sword in his hand start to glow. And it gets red hot, Leonard. And then you see his hands start to glow. And the metal of his hands looks to be red hot. And you see little sparks kind of flying off of it as he, little bits of like ash and stuff falling off as he's like gripping the sword. And he continues to charge forwards now with a glowing red hot iron sword.
Okay, if it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
Yep, it is entirely immune to fire. You've given it now a flaming giant sword. Thank you for powering. Thank you for powering up my monster. So now, not only does it have a giant iron sword, it has a flaming giant iron sword. Zarya, you see this beast with a giant flaming iron sword charging towards you.
Yeah, so first she sees the beast before this happens and says, nope, that's not what we're looking for. And then she sees that happen and it's like, no, that's definitely not what we're looking for. And can I get a charisma saving throw?
You got it. What are we?
I am casting banishment.
Oh Lord,
A
minus
negative
4.
4.
It rolls
Okay,
a
it's-
negative. It rolls a negative 4.
Okay, it is gone for 1 minute. I'm just gonna look around at the others and go, mission creep, let's go. This is not what we came here for. Let's go.
He just poofs away for half a second, and yep.
Yeah.
He
I
No,
got 55
no pelt,
seconds
no
to do
nothing.
supermarket sweep.
55 seconds. All right. I want you to. Oh my God, you're gonna have to roll for this, or you're gonna get caught by this thing. You have the opportunity to get away. But if you're going to supermarket sweep and try to find a really cool magical item, there is a significant chance that you get caught back up in this battle again. You can leave and get nothing, get no magic items. Zari just gave you a getaway card. You could leave and get nothing, or you can hunt and take a risk that he's going to pop back into existence in front of you.
Can I get in just a flash? How shiny do the things look in here? Like how cool does this stuff look?
There's a lot of stuff smashed up, but you see some stuff. You definitely see a few things, but there's a lot of smashed stuff. As this thing's been bashing it with a giant iron sword.
Okay.
I wish I had like an egg timer right now. Oh,
Okay.
Any
I'm
chance
going
that
to-
this thing is native to a different plane of existence other than this one?
you have no idea.
I'm
Okay.
gonna roll with it. I'm gonna advise everybody else to run,
Okay.
should they so choose. I mean, they're strong, independent people who can make their own decisions. But I'm a supermarket sweep. I got to roll the dice.
Okay. You charge in there. I need you to roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation.
Yep. Okay. Now I need you to roll me a dexterity check. This is how long it's going to take you and how you're going to get out of here. 12 and a 16. Okay. All right. As you charge in there, you tell everyone else to run. What do they do? What does everybody else do? As Leonard charges in there, he's like, "I got to get something. Everybody run."
I know
Harkus is
exactly what
feeling
I'm
pretty
doing.
good. Harkus is feeling pretty good. He hit him and is actually mad. He sees shiny things and wants shiny things too.
Okay. So is Harkus running in there as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. What is Cadillac doing?
I am stampeding out of this because I'm not interested in the knickknacks, and I am now yet bellowing in the courtyard. Get out here right now. Where did you go?
Okay.
I think I'm somewhere in between Cadillac and the other two. Like I'm also shouting with Cadillac, but like I'm also not letting them out of my sight either. So like I'm somewhere in between
Right.
the
You're
sets of
shouting.
people.
Shouting at us to get out while standing at the door and just casually looking around while we pilfer.
If you ever want my healing again, get out here.
Okay.
I can't stop this healing any longer.
Roll me an investigation check. You, Harkus.
Hey, I
Okay, now
found
roll.
dirt.
Yep. Now roll me a dexterity check for how quickly you can do it.
Saving throw?
Just a check.
Oh.
19. All right, you're fast, but you don't find as much. Very quickly, Harkus, as you're sort of digging through there with great speed, the thing that you find that is the most like fascinating to you is you grab a ring that you found in the dirt that looked interesting. It had like a signet on it, and it's in a bunch of rubble. And you grab it, and now roll me and you scoot. You grab it and scoot. You've grabbed a ring out of the rubble. You didn't have much time to look around. You didn't
Okay.
investigate very hard, but you found a ring and you scoot. Uh, Leonard, you have a little bit better investigation. You see a couple of things, Leonard. You see two things that are really interesting to you. You see another ring on the ground next to the ring where Arcus went and grabbed it, and you also see like a trying to think of how to describe this here. Hold on. Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't like that. I'm going to roll it here. Hang on. You see the ring, and you see... Oh, good. Oh, good. Yes. You see three things. You see a sword lying on the ground that has not been smashed up. You see a ring, and you see a small box. And you have time to grab one of those three things.
Oh! I gotta grab one. Okay. I think it's got to be the box.
It's the box.
I think it's the box.
Okay.
What's the box look like?
Small leather, like, box, about the size of, like a small leather pouch. It's about the size of like a cigarette pack, maybe.
Okay. I'll take the box.
You grab the box. Roll me a d20. This is a luck roll. 50-50 chance you get out of here before it's back, or you get out of here after it's back.
Okay. D20.
D20. You get out of there before it's back. You just exit the building when you hear whoop, and then smash starts happening. Oh God, I just can't believe I rolled this off the table.
Supermarket sweet.
Yeah.
The next time you're in line at the checkout counter and you hear the beep, think of the fun you could have getting attacked by an iron golem with a giant sword.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was an iron golem. It was an iron golem missing its head. Yeah. So Harkus, you got a really cool looking ring, and you got a little box.
I had to get the box. I don't know what it is, but
it had an interesting design on the outside of it.
What design's on the outside of it?
It has a sun, a moon, a skull, and a heart on the outside of the box.
Do I recognize that, like, from a magic, or
I don't think so.
And it's not any of the symbols of the schools of magic, or
You open it?
I want to get further away from this iron golem before.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, you guys can move away. He's in that building smashing things up.
All right, I'm thinking toward Peyroni's tower over here.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
I'm just sad I didn't think of it.
Now, don't forget, I'm
Listen,
making.
listen. I was not as clever. I was having the same thoughts, but I couldn't think of anything to like. I couldn't come up with a good joke. So I'm glad that you pulled that out. That's amazing. Good job. 2 points to your team.
It really kind of looks like we're in Peyroni's village at this point.
Kind of. All right.
Now, don't
Yep.
Jeff,
forget,
what is
I'm making a hell of a ruckus, by the way.
this one?
What's that one? That is one of the like wizard towers that are on the outskirts. That's very similar to the one that you found upside down in the snow. They're like
But
individual.
that's not one of the 8.
No, they're like individual apartment homes and laboratories for wizards and things like that.
Okay, all right.
Yep. So you guys run out of here and get away from the market building with the giant iron creature, and make your way over here, where I guess you're investigating your items.
Yeah. If we're out of the
Yep.
Iron Bones area.
Yeah, okay, so you've got a cool ring. It's got a symbol on the front of it. And you've got a box with a bunch of symbols on it.
And Zarya's muttering, 4th level spell slot, and you all go shopping.
You escaped with your lives.
All right. What's in my box?
You open it.
Yeah.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Inside of the
What's
box
in
is
the box?
inside of the box is a small leather pouch that is closed up. It is about the size of like a deck of playing cards.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god!
You can
All
feel
right.
it. You can feel it, and yeah, it feels like about a regular deck of cards.
I'm going to lean on Yatara to identify it when we have.
I'll give you that Yatara is here and we'll identify it. Yatara spends 10 minutes trying to identify, and she touches the cards, or he touches the cards, and he looks up at you, and he closes the lid to the box and says, "No touch."
All right.
He just says all the magic.
All right.
All the magic.
I'm gonna
He
keep it
identifies
in the front
he
pocket.
identifies your item, Harkus, and you've come across a ring of telekinesis. You can cast the telekinesis spell at will, but you can only target objects that aren't being worn or carried while wearing the ring. It does require attunement. You can move any object up to 1,000 pounds. It's not being worn or carried, so like that's pretty good.
Oh wow!
Or you could try to move. I mean, it's got some restraints on it, but
So does anybody want a ring of telekinesis? And I say this because I am already wearing a belt of hill giant strength, a mantle of spell resistance, and a stone of good luck. So if someone has some ability to attune to things and would like a ring of telekinesis that might be helpful to us, it is available.
If no one wants it, I can take it. But I think there may be others that can use it too. So whoever.
yeah. So yeah,
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
Leonard, I don't know how you're feeling about holding this deck of cards that he's told you is powerful.
Well, Leonard can't let it go. So
No, he can't. Leonard can't let anybody else have it.
correct. So
Did I hear Yatara say this?
Yatara can't really like. I don't know if like identify tells you exactly everything about it, or exactly how identify works. Like,
Did I hear her tell him no touchy?
what you heard Yatara say was, "This is a really powerful item, and it seems to be able to cast magics of crazy ability that may be good and may be really bad." And I
Okay.
think Yatara tells him, this could be really dangerous. It could be really powerful, but could also be really dangerous.
Okay.
As I think how it would be described.
All right.
Cadillac, do you want to take the ring?
Sure, I'll take the ring. I was just reading about it, so yeah, I think I could use this.
All right.
Have the ring. Well, you guys avoided the big fight for tonight and decided to go shopping instead. And you have found, yes, at least what you believe to be, what Yatara believes to be, a deck of many things.
Indeed.
Can't believe I gave you that item. Well, Yatara draws or Leonard draws a card, and this campaign is over, and we're doing something else.
We'll see. Keeping it in the front pocket in case of emergencies.
In case of emergency, I draw this card. All right. Very good.
It could solve problems.
It could. You're right. It could. It very well could. I think that's as good a place as any to bag it for the night. Kind of a short session. Didn't fight anything. Sorry. Sorry, Harkus. I'll have you fight something next time.
It wasn't for the lack of trying.
It's very true. It's very true.
Sorry, not sorry.
I tell you what. How about this? A monster appears as you're all gathering. Actually, yes. As you are all gathering and looking at your magical items, you all notice you've been surrounded. Several of the gargoyles that have been stalking the buildings around have been watching you. And as you are looking at your items, looking at your magical items, they have skulked up around you all, and you're now surrounded by several of these, probably, we're going to say 6 of these living stone gargoyle statues. They sneer at you. And when we return, next time, we will roll initiative. Good night, everybody. I hope you guys get some rest and have a good evening, and we'll catch you guys next week as we journey, I guess, towards the tower with the stone slab in it that has the next step in the right of the arcane octad. Only 7 more to go. Hopefully we can make some progress on that. All right, everybody. Good night.
See ya.
Night, y'all.
Good night.